Hey there, Python trainer Reuven Lerner here. And this time I want to talk to you about sorting strings versus sorting integers. So let's say I create a list of words. I'm going to say words equals. This is a bunch of brilliant words that I have spoken. And now we see that words here is indeed a list of strings because that's what you get back when you do a split. So if I now say sorted of words, we are going to see them sorted, but it's going to have a few problems with it. Number one is we're going to see that the capital letter I comes first, which is a little weird, even though I should always come first. Okay, anyway. And then brilliant and bunch, how are those sorted? So how is this working? Well, basically, Python is comparing each of these words with one another. It's not doing all of them to all of them, right? Because it understands that if A comes before B and B comes before C, then A also comes before C. So that does work in that way. But basically, if it has to compare, for example, brilliant and bunch, what does it do? Well, it looks at index 1. It looks at the first letter in each word. And if those are the same, then it has to look at index well, it looks at index 0, the first letter in each word. And if those are the same, it looks at index 1, the second letter in each word. And it uses that sort of comparison to know which comes first. Now, we recognize this from looking up words in a dictionary, from alphabetizing things, but this is generalizable to all characters, and not just A to Z, but all characters, including space, including punctuation marks, including digits. And that's because each of these characters has a unique code, what we would call an ASCII code in olden times and a Unicode code point in modern times. So if I say the ord of B versus the ord of A, well, though obviously B comes after A because B's number is 98 and A's number is 97. So that's how we're going to order a brilliant bunch, have, is, of, spoken, that, this words, and that and this. Once again, T is the same in both of these. So we have to check TH. TH in both of these is the same. So we check, THA comes before THI. And again, this seems very natural to us as humans who have used dictionaries before, but the computer needs a rule for doing this. So it compares index 0, then it compares index 1, compares index 2, and whatever is the tiebreaker, right? So at some point it'll break the tie. Here it was index 2, THA versus THI. Sometimes one word will be shorter than the other, and then it comes first. And could be that you have two words that are exactly the same. So why is capital I first here? Because the ord of all capital letters comes before all lowercase letters. So the ord of capital Z comes before the ord of lowercase a. So all capital letters will always come before all lowercase letters. And there are ways to handle this, but that's not what I wanted to show you here. Instead, what I wanted to show you was this. What if my list equals a bunch of numbers? Where I'm going to say here, I'm going to say 10, I'm going to say 100, 10, 1, and in between I'm going to say 20 and 200 and 2. So if I split this into a list, right? So my list is now once again a list of strings. What's going to happen when I sort it? Sort of my list. And it's going to order it in exactly the same way as I just described. It's going to look at the first character, and then it's going to look at the second character, and then it's going to look at the third character, and shorter things win. So 1 comes before 10, comes before 100. That's what we would expect. But then 2, and then 20, and then 200. Why? Because the ord of the string 1 is 49. The ord of the string 2 is 50. Makes sense, right? So it says, oh, this one has an ord of 1, and then this one is a little longer, but still starts with ord of 1, then this one, ord of 1, and then all the things that start with 2. Just as you would expect all the words that start with A to come before all the words that start with B. So this makes a lot of sense logically, but it's very surprising to people when they actually want to sort things. And this is a classic problem, right? I get, say, a bunch of integers from a line in a file. I get them from a user entering things. And I think that I've got a bunch of numbers. And to me as a human, they look like numbers. But the computer sees it as a bunch of strings and sorts them as strings. So how can we solve this? Well, one solution is turn them into integers, right? I could say here, I could use a list comprehension. And I could say here, int of one number for one number in my list, I guess. And then we get a list of integers back, and then I can pass that to sorted. Nothing wrong with that. Another solution is to pass int as an argument to sorted. I can say sorted of sorted of my list key equals int. And then what's going to happen is that int is going to be called on each element of my list, and the result of that will be used to sort them. This does not mean that the list will turn into a list of integers, right? So see, notice the difference here is that I got back a list of integers because I basically converted it into a list of integers before passing it to sort. Whereas here, I got back my original list of strings sorted as if they were integers. Now, do you have to do this? No, it all depends on what you want to do. But I've seen so often people get confused that they get input from the user or from a file or from the network. They have a string, they break it into words, and they're like, wait, why are these numbers not being sorted like numbers? Well, because as far as the computer is concerned, of course, they are not numbers. They are strings, and it will sort them accordingly. By the way, if you want more information about sorting, more information you probably ever want to know, you can look up my video, How to Sort Anything, which I gave at EuroPython back in, I want to say, 2020. All right. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm always looking for more topics to explore, questions to answer, so please reach out to me on Twitter, reach out to me via email, and don't forget that every week I write a new article about Python for my Better Developers newsletter, currently read by over 25,000 people a week. You can sign up at betterdevelopersweekly.com. So stay tuned, because I'll be back soon with yet more questions answered about Python. See you soon.